It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Steelers and the Silver and Black. And it comes your way next on Madden NFL 25.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you from our broadcast perch. And Charles, as we get this thing started, what are you going to be keeping your eye on?
Special teams. Field position is always a big determiner in a ball game. Who sets their offense up for success the best, that team will win the game.
And off we go from Las Vegas. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's second and 9. Smith. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's third down.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Throwing is Smith. Now throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
On fourth down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Deep to return is Calvin Austin. It's taken to the 26. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over first and 10. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
Short throw to Smith. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. We often give credit to the O-line there. Two tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field, but his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
Ball on the 35. Here comes second and 5. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They'll run it. Warren. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down. You're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. Warren. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a 1st.
And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
That is caught, and he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down.
They'd been moving the ball well, but this drive was in danger of stalling out. Fortunately, this is a nice throw here, and they're able to pick up a new set of downs.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Now Rodgers.
Got his man, it's Warren.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Running left, it's Warren.
And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Buried behind the line by Christian Wilkins.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. A lot of energy in this building tonight, but the opening drive produces 3, maybe quiets them just a bit, at least momentarily.
Just a little, right? That's all you're asking for, right? Things just getting started. You know they haven't taken the momentum totally here, but at the same time, they like what they've done here in the early going.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. 2nd drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense.
And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that 1st drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that 1st drive. I'll try to do better here. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, You're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
On second down, they'll run it here. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And taken right at the 35. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Rodgers now to throw. They'll get this complete to Calvin Austin. So the completion good for 7 there. And it's 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 44 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Throwing is Rodgers. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that will bring up 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
From the 21, here's the 2nd down and 9. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now Rodgers. And he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Out of the gun, Smith. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Facing 2nd and short, that gives you a chance to go for a bigger play through the air. But I think he said to himself, why not just handle this one? Got all the yards he needed and then some, and made that snap a huge success.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here, 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. They'll try the air now with Smith. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Here's Austin. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. To throw is Rodgers. Short throw to Smith. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down. They'll run on first down. It's Warren. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. 62 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And his throw here's incomplete.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
And the Steelers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Right back to him on 1st down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. During that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Short throw to Smith. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Rodgers going to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game. And they hit that one there for big yardage.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Now Rodgers on the bootleg. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
On that snap, he's the hero of his defense after the play he just made. A one-possession game, and his hit kept it exactly that.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? On play action, now Rodgers. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. And he wisely will throw that one away. The Raider defense strong on that one in coverage, and now it's 4th. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. So another good job defensively because they've allowed 3 trips into the red zone, but only the 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's the bend but don't break, isn't it? And they really didn't get broken at all because if you're running off the field having allowed 2 field goals and 3 trips in the red zone, you've actually come out ahead.
Yeah, flip it over to the other side. The offense, they'll hope to cash in for 6 next trip. After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Geno now to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
To throw is Smith. And his throw is incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big third down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now it's Smith. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. That one good for only 6, and it leaves them with a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long, because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
Now Austin. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. Now it's Rodgers. And the Raiders have got him. Jermaine Pratt fighting in and dropping him for the loss.
Now how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz, and the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Up the middle they go. Warren. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. 70 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Throwing now is Rodgers. He'll let it fly for Austin. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit him over the top, unsuccessfully.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup. From the gun on 3rd down, Smith.
And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big hole after big hole to run through in this first half. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. That to the sideline and incomplete. Boy, they're going to say there's a receiver in the area. That was close to grounding, but it's 2nd down. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Warren. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And he will have a Steelers first down as he's able to get about 3 that time on 3rd and inches.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far. And you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. Completes it to Austin. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time it's 3rd and 3. On play action, Rodgers. To the sideline and incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Smith. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
A promising sign there from an offense that hasn't done a whole lot to this point. Nice job to locate the open receiver, and it's good yardage and a first down to open the drive.
Play action. It's Smith. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Flush to his right. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. Now Geno. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Here's 2nd and 3. Smith. Open man is Myers. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Throwing now is Geno. And this is going to be incomplete. The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming 4th down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Here we go on 4th, and the ball is knocked out. And this ball recovered by the offense, but remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. The Steelers taking over now late in this first half. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've got a little under 40 seconds to go if they want to try to put something together here. Looking left side, and he's got him in. The ball comes out. And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. A final shot before half for Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Warren. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. 89 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on second down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
From the 41, here's a second down and 4. Rodgers now to throw. Got his man, it's Warren. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5. Well, if you're going to turn things around in a game like this, Charles, those are the kind of plays that you need.
And I just love the way that defense rallied to the football on that one. They got the completion, but he was smothered behind the line of scrimmage. And when you make tackles like that, your whole defense is going to be fired up. Really nice play getting to the ball.
And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Boy, that one was well read defensively, and this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
Short throw caught by Bowers. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the first round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. So from the 37, here's 2nd down. Throwing is Smith. Over the middle, he's got Myers. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
A shotgun snap for Smith. He throws it on the move but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
Here's A.J. Cole now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Now that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on 3rd down.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
On 3rd down, Warren. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything, change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
And he's going to be marked down short of the 1st down. Needed the 40, but he's a yard or 2 shy. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Vegas. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. They run the counter. It's Warren, and he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. Now Rodgers. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
To throw is Rodgers. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Malcolm Kuntz able to collapse the pocket, get to him, and drop him for a loss of a yard. And for the defense, their 3rd sack of the game.
That number tells you that they're starting to put it together with their defensive game plan. They're starting to feel pretty good about what the offense is doing, bringing the pressure at the right time, and putting the quarterback on the ground.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. And they'll accept that penalty. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Up the middle they go. Warren. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on second and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
Throwing is Rodgers. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. So that, Charles, maybe the play that this defense has been looking for.
They've hung in there, and if they lose this game, it won't be from a lack of effort on their part. The key question is, can the offense finally do something? Because we're into the third quarter, and a 0 is still glowing on the scoreboard.
The Raiders offense ready to go. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
That is incomplete.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
Because you're right, they have had no room to breathe. This is 3rd and 1, very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he is going to have the Raiders first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Tucker, complete on the right side. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. Back to throw, Smith. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. That's caught left side. Myers with it. And he is going to have the Raiders first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football.
That's not the first time they've looked his way when they've needed a big play. He's been the go-to guy all game long. And they get the hook up again on third down to keep this drive alive.
To the air again, Smith. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. T.J. Watt, his second sack of the night.
That's a ball he needs to let go of there. Wasn't the most time in the world to work through his progression, but NFL quarterbacks, they've got to sense the pressure. They've got that internal clock, and the ball has to be gone. And if you're not going to escape and run for it, you have to let it go before the pressure gets to you and puts you on the ground.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Off of play action, here's Smith. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Geno now to throw. And that is incomplete. So 2 third down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
The kick by Carlson is good, and they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Steelers offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. 4th quarter, they cling to a 3-point lead after the field goal a moment ago, and it's certainly a very critical drive with still a good chunk of time remaining. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see, and that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And this one complete to Smith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
From the 47 now, they work with a 2nd and 7. They run the counter. It's Warren. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now it's Rodgers. Complete to Austin here over the middle. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Here's Rodgers to throw. That is caught. Still fighting for more. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Robert Woods, 32 yards. And the Steelers get an important score there to extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Well, we lasted all the way to the fourth quarter without a touchdown being on the board, but here a key one to extend the lead.
Definitely, and I really doubt, though, that that's going to open the floodgates. What do you think, partner?
No, not the way that we've seen these defenses play.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They've been rock solid, but we had to know that sooner or later, someone had to surrender a touchdown, and it happened right there.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a Robert Woods touchdown reception. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Raiders now set to get the football back. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. Up past the 30, second down coming up.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 31, here's a second down and 6. Smith now to throw. Over the middle, hooks up with a tight end, Bowers. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Smith. That's complete into the hands of Myers. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Ball on the 30 now. Here's second down at a yard. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. That's to the Notre Dame man, Michael Mayer. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 20-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here's a 2nd and 5. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Geno. He's got it. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Steelers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now a handoff up the middle. Warren. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Warren. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Here's Cameron Johnston now, standing just outside his own goal line. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. So the Raiders now down by 10, a little under 1:50 remaining. Their offense has struggled all night, and now they need to find 2 scores late to try to pull this thing out. Smith. And this one too low.
Well, they've certainly had trouble unlocking this defense through 3.5 quarters, so I don't expect it to get any easier now. You know they're going to be sitting back and waiting on everything, and they force an incompletion there.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Smith to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
Smith's going to throw it. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
It fights him off. Runs through the contact. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one, because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
Here's Smith. Short throw caught by Bowers. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 34-yard line.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Smith. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Here comes 2nd down at 5. Now it's Smith. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Now the question is obvious. Do you try to kick the field goal right here knowing that you need 2 scores? I would be thinking about if I were on that sideline. Get the field goal now, try and get the touchdown later.
Boy, here's a big one. You can just feel it. This is 3rd down now. Now Smith. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the 1st down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. Well, they had to take one final shot at the end zone, but now things are looking really bleak.
And I agree with that totally. You had to take the shot if they did score. You know, whether you call it a miracle or not, you line up, onside kick, get the ball back, throw one more in the end zone, who knows? Had to take the chance. It just was unsuccessful.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to 0. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them in just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.